Today we are going to be ranking all the Gobblegums in Black Ops 6 Zombies so far, and we're going to be going from the absolute worst Gobblegum to the top tier of top tier Gobblegums. But a little twist on what we're doing here is that we're going to be breaking up these Gobblegums into 4 different tiers, and I'll let you know when we are in those different tiers. The bottom ones are going to be the absolute trash ones that I don't know why you would ever use, and then we'll get into the, good in situations, then the pretty good ones, and finally the great Gobblegums. But there are a lot of Gobblegums in this game, and I'm sure you guys are going to find a place to disagree with me, and you have your reasons. So when we do run into those situations, and trust me, we will, head down to the comment section and let me know exactly why I'm wrong, but be a little nice about it, And hey, on your way back up, you might as well drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And with that said, let's get into ranking these Gobblegums in Black Ops 6 Zombies. So our first tier is going to be the absolute trash tier. These are the worst of the worst Gobblegums in this game, and we're going to start all the way at the bottom with our first and worst Gobblegum, Respin Cycle. What this does is on activation, it will respin the box for absolute free, and I think it guarantees rather the same or higher rarity of the gun that you got in the box. And the problem with this is that it was already a trash Gobblegum, and the fact that it's a purple one is crazy to me, because like, what's it really doing? Just saving you 950 points? But on top of that, especially in this game, it is really bad because the box just isn't as important in a game like Black Ops 6. So, it makes it even worse and putting it all the way at the bottom. Next, we have Cashback. This will spawn in a max ammo. And in the past, this was a top tier Gobblegum, especially for high rounds. But the problem now is that there's not really an ammo problem in this game. There's like so many ways to get ammo. You could rather kill special or elite enemies. There's ammo crates you could buy, ammo for all the different guns in the game. And even during the Easter egg, it gives you a ton of max ammos. There's not really a problem with ammo. And even high rounds, you're probably not even going to be using guns anyways. You're just going to be using streak. So there's not really a huge need for ammo in this game, making this pretty useless. Next, we have ourselves another one that's fallen from grace, Anywhere But Here. This will teleport you to a random other spot on the map. And this used to be a top tier Gobblegum too, but the problem with it now is that there's no classic gums, so there's a limit to how many you have, and on top of that, it only activates once. And even worse, and what really kills it for me is its functionality in this game, because how you activate Gobblegums is not just hitting the up arrow and now you're safe now. Instead, you have to hit your right arrow and then hope you're rather already on it, or you have to scroll to it and then hit your A or X button, which is just going to take too long and you're just going to end up dying in that time. Next, we have wall-to-wall clearance. This will make almost all wall buys 10 points. And that may sound like maybe potentially even broken, because you're thinking, well, what's also wall buy in this game? Oh, that's the armor vest. But guess what? It doesn't work for the armor vest for some reason. If it did, this would be a top tier gun, but unfortunately, it just doesn't. It only works for the gun wall buys. And honestly, in this game, like, there's probably only 2 wall buys you really like in this game, and you're probably not even worried about the price of them, to be completely honest, making this one pretty useless. And another one that has fallen from grace is Immolation Liquidation. This will spawn in a fire sale. Depressing stuff to see, for real, but the reason why this is just not good anymore is because, unlike the original one, this only spawns in a single fire sale, which is not that long. It's only 30 seconds worth of a fire sale instead of the old 90. And on top of that, in this game, as we've already stated, the box just isn't as important, really hurting the value of this gum. But now this brings us to our next tier of Gobblegums. These are going to be the cool, not great Gobblegums, the ones that have specific uses, and I think you guys will see what I mean by that. And to start off this tier, we have Exit Strategy, and this will just start an exfil at whatever point in the game. It doesn't matter when. And to be honest, the only reason this isn't in the trash tier is because sometimes I just want to exfil specifically on round 100 instead of round 101. That's literally the only reason I didn't put it there, but yeah, it's whatever. Next, we have ourselves Arsenal Accelerator. This will last 3 minutes, and while it's active, your field upgrade will recharge a lot faster. And this is really good, especially for boss fights when you want to spam your field upgrade, and this is a great way to get it back fast. Next, we have ourselves Temporal Gift, and this one got kind of a nerf in this game, because what it does is when you activate it, upon the next time-based power-up you get, it will double the duration of it. And that's fine or whatever, but honestly, I just wish it worked how it used to work in the past. Next, we have ourselves Killjoy, and this will spawn in an insta-kill power-up. It's nice, nothing really to complain about it. It does what it does, but it's just, you know, whatever, you know? Next, we have ourselves Power Keg. This will spawn in a full power-up. And this is really only good for Easter egg runs, like especially for boss fights. If you want to use Ether Shroud multiple times in that boss fight, this is another way to get a full charge really fast, especially in the Citadel boss fight. Great use of it right there. Next, we have ourselves Who's Keeping Score. This will spawn in a double points. And I mean, what's there to explain there? It's nice, gets you double points, it's great. Then we have ourselves Crate Power. The next gun you get out of the mystery box will be Pack-a-Punched. And I mean, I would put this higher because that's a nice enough ability, but it's just, I don't think I've ever used it outside of for this gameplay for this video, so, you know. And next we have ourselves Timeout. And what this does is completely ends a round, but then no zombies spawn for 3 minutes. And that's cool to use like once or twice or once on every map just to explore it for a bit. But I don't know, it's just like whatever. It's like a poor man's round robin. And this brings us to our next tier of Gobblegums, the good tier of Gobblegums. They're like pretty good Gobblegums, and I think you guys are going to like this tier. And to start it all off, we have Nowhere But There. This will teleport you to a down teammate and instantly revive them. Now, I think they only keep the perks on their bleed out timer, so if they have more than 3, I think they still lose those, but it's still a nice and quick way to revive your teammates. Next, we have ourselves Soda Fountain. A big nerf to this one, to be completely honest, but on your next purchase of a perk, it will give you a bonus free one. In the past, this would work on, I think, 3 or 4 perk purchases and be really nice to get it. I think people were calling it back then the poor man's perkaholic, but it got a huge nerf in this game, but it's still nice to get at least one free perk. And this one's pretty much that, except a little bit better, but we have On the House. This will spawn in a free perk power up, giving everybody in the game a free perk. So it's definitely better for co-op, and you don't have to worry about purchasing anyone this one, so it is definitely better than Soda Fountain. Next, we have ourselves Shields Up. For 3 minutes, your armor will be at 2 times its strength, which is a huge buff. And anybody who's struggling with Easter egg boss fights, this is the Gobblegum for you. This is the #1 Gobblegum I recommend everyone using for those Easter egg boss fights. And this brings us to our next one, Free Fire. This will give you infinite ammo for 30 seconds for everything except wonder weapons for whatever reason, which is a bit cringe in my opinion. And really, this is just really nice for boss fights, especially if you're trying to use like a sniper or something. You could really melt some bosses with it. But the thing is that there's honestly a Gobblegum that does this same thing except a little bit better. And this is going to be our next one, Stock Option. This is active for 3 minutes, but doesn't give you infinite ammo, but you won't have to reload because it's going to take it from your stock ammo instead of your clip. Now, sure, you could still run out of ammo altogether, but, you know, whatever. It lasts longer anyways. You just buy ammo in that time. And this pretty much does what Free Fire does, except a little bit better. And going on to our next one, we have Wall Power. This will pack punch your gun that you buy off the wall. And the greatest way to use this is just going and getting a free pack-a-punched Mustang and Sally from the GS45 in the spawn of every single map on this game so far. And next, we have ourselves Phoenix Up. This will revive all down teammates on the map no matter where they are, and it will keep all their perks that they had when they were down. An absolute great one, still a really good Gobblegum till this day. And now this brings us to the top tier of top tier Gobblegums. These are the best ones in the game. And to start them all off, we have ourselves Idolize. This will make all players, not just you, but all players in the map invisible to zombies, which is a huge buff. I absolutely love this stuff. Again, great one for the boss fight if you guys are struggling, especially if you're playing on co-op. Even solo works too, to be honest. So this is a great one. Absolutely love it. You guys should run it. Next, we have ourselves Raindrops. We'll spawn in every single possible power-up. And I mean, what's there not to like? You get all the power-ups, including a perk power-up. I mean, it's amazing. And then we have ourselves Wonderbar. This will guarantee that your next box spin will be a wonder weapon. Now, I would have this higher, to be completely honest, but the problem with it is that a lot of the times when I activate it, I want it to give me the wonder weapon of that map. But sometimes it'll just give me the ray gun instead, and then I'm like trying to do the Easter egg. Like, the whole point of me activating this was for I could speedrun the Easter egg or something, but now I just wasted that gum, and now I just wasted that run too. So that's the only reason why I don't have it higher, but still is a great Gobblegum. And next we have profit sharing. And what this will do is on activation, all your nearby teammates will share points with each other. So if somebody gets points, they're going to be right next to you, you're going to get those points. And if you get those points, they're going to get it. It's a great way to run up your points. And honestly, the fact that it is a purple rarity, you probably have a lot of these. And I'd recommend using them in your co-op Easter egg runs almost all the time. It is a great way to get your points up and get them up fast. And now we're getting into top 3 territory. And to start off the top 3, we have near death. And what this will do for 5 or 5s or some minute timer, I just forgot, it will revive your teammates just by standing near them. But on top of that, they will keep all of their perks. It's a great one to run for any boss fights for the very first time you're running them, or you're just struggling to do them on co-op, or just any sort of situations where your teammates just keep going down. You don't want them to lose their perks. And number 2, and arguably should be number 1, but I'm putting it number 2, hidden power. And this will get the currently held gun in your hand and get it from whatever rarity it is all the way to gold legendary rarity. And this is a great one. Oh my gosh, this is probably the most convenient perk in the game. I can't even argue if you have this at number 1, but I just think 1 is slightly better. And what that number 1 is of course Perkaholic. This will give you every single perk in the game. Now, it's not as good as it was in the past because there was a perk limit, but even without the perk limit, I mean, it's going to save you so much time and points. And not only just for setup, but like, let's just say you're doing an Easter egg run for the first time and you went down. Now you can just pop your Perkaholic and you're back. Or if you're just on the high rounds, you want to run around buying your perks or something like that. Like, it has multiple uses. And on top of that, it's only going to get better because they're going to add more and more perks to the game. And this means every single time you activate it, you're going to get all those perks that are going to come in the future. And you're going to be saving yourself even more money on those. And because of that, that is why it's my number 1. But those are my thoughts and my rankings of the Gobblegums in Black Ops 6 Zombies. But I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. But that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.